MB&F is not about creating watches. MB&F is about creating horological machines. What is important for us is to create this kinetic sculpture based on the tradition of watchmaking, which is a three-dimensional machine which gives time. The Legacy Machine comes from one of my childhood fantasies, which was time traveling. And I started thinking, what would happen if I had been born 100 years before I was born, 1867 instead of 1967? Everything we know today, everything we have created today stems from 1780 to 1870. During those 90 years, everything which we know today as watchmaking was created. When you look at a legacy machine and you see that three-dimensional bridge with that floating balance wheel, that bridge comes from the Eiffel Tower. And those two little white, porcelain white dome dials, they're the pocket watches which have made our history. And that three-dimensional first ever power reserve which goes up and down, that is the marine sextant. Late 2007, beginning of 2008, I sketched the first drawings of what was going to become Legacy Machine. And with that design, we went to see Jean-François of Grenoble. And Jean-François, immediately his eyes lit up. And we said, okay, we're going to work this together. And we needed somebody who had this history, who had this knowledge of patrimony, and that had to be Kari Voutilainen. I showed him the design. And he looked up and he said, this I will do. So we had our dream team. And we started working on it, and it's taken 3 years. I sketched this round movement with an enormous balance wheel, which we'd taken from under where the movement usually is, and put it completely transcended, completely suspended on top of the movement. Why? Because what was the most important for the great masters of the 18th and 19th century was the regulating system. Now, what's amazing also among the many features of this new movement is that you've got two dials giving you two completely separate time zones, not 1 hour apart, not half an hour apart, but every single minute can be changed. That has never been done. The design Kari did on this movement is so amazing that when you turn it round and look at the bridges, you actually virtually do not realize that there's no balance wheel. That is the miracle he's managed. And most people who've seen the movement, and I ask them, is there something missing? And they go, I don't know. So from now on, there will be horological machines, which is our creations with our time, and there will be legacy machines, which is our creations as if 100 years ago. And MB&F will be two lines in parallel.